for coming. Cheers. Maybe you should go first. It's our hope that we're going to share something today that you can take with you as an extra memory or one more nice sweet thought. My mom was very spiritual. Her Christianity took her through life from the beginning to the end. She was very proud to be a Lutheran. She came by this naturally because she was born Ruthie into a Lutheran family in Portland. Paula, her mom, played piano, pipe organ, and her dad, John, was also a Lutheran. At that time, Ruth picked up those famous German phrases, which some of you probably heard later on in life, and the caregivers here at Brookside heard right at the end of her life. She still had that German with her. My mom taught us the spiritual ways, and as Pastor Collins has shared today, and all of you certainly know, those lessons will continue with us as we go forward. Ruth told us that she was an only child, and darn it, she always wanted to have, be around lots of kids. And she looked at her friends, the Stevensons, and thought, that's so lucky, look at all those people. Look at how much fun they all had. So Mom had 4 of us. And as Kenny and we continued their lives, having a big tribe around was always part of what Mom loved. And having a big tribe of Lutherans around for the potlucks and the singing in the choir and so forth. And a tribe of lovely grandchildren and one great grandkid right back there. My mom loved music. And again, from the beginning of her life was singing in the choir. I don't know if you heard that grade section, but we were told to really sing it out today, and I think almost all of us can carry a tune. And we hope that continues down through the generations. And again, at the end of my mom's life, softly at Brookside was the classical radio station. And I would go in and say, "Do you want the music on, Mom?" And she'd always have the music on. Ruth loved beauty and nature, and we all shared a lot of that with her, skiing and camping and the ocean, and was very fortunate actually at Brookside. When she first moved in there, it was amazing that they could sit in the dining room with two both now Adams and Ruth. My mom honored her husband and was a caregiver, and she taught me how to be a caregiver, and I was able to give back to her right at the end. I was blessed in that way. Ruth was sort of a glamour girl. She was always sort of trying to fix me up with one of those fabulous new dresses where I might sort of look like a princess, and she was behind that sewing machine for hours. However, I was a little bit more interested pretty much in Kenny's lessons on how to throw a football. But my mom's glamour lessons were impressive. Every day, just before it was time for Dad to arrive home with that old lunch bucket and peerless pattern hanging on the kitchen counter, my mom was just doing the last bit of makeup and one more slide of lipstick to greet Kenny as he came home. It's quite synchronized and a blessing that Pastor Collins and I started talking about Scripture. We know that Mom loved Scripture and hymns. And I'm in a fortunate position right now in Santa Barbara to be a part of a group where I have a guru in a meditation group that I attend. And my buddy Gardner is 90 years old and taught comparative religions. And he said, "Catherine, you have to make sure that you put Joshua 24:2-15 in there." So I have been studying some Joshua as well. And when thinking about Mom, as we moved to 62nd Drive, what came to me is, and I quote Joshua, as he said, "As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord," unquote. And there was sort of no fooling around about that fact. That's what Mom was, and that was her strength, and we would go there too, in the front row with our hymn books. So we were raised in the church, and as Mother was, and we moved into our 62nd Drive home, and it became a part of the Portland community from Little League to, skiing with the Stevensons. Again, lots of camping trips, choir, is that when the toast is burnt, we pass on a family tradition. And ours was, when the toast was burnt, my mother would say, "That's just like her German grandfather loved it." So it was coming out burnt. We would go, we're having the dinner tonight the way Granddad loved it. And another one I was sharing this morning with Chris and Molly is that Mother had a dignity about some of those desserts that didn't quite have enough gel. She could whip out the lemon yum-yums, but that banana cream pie that came out at the time, sort of like soup, she would just say, pass out the straws and say, dig in. So we've learned a lot about poise and flexibility, especially when there's a game. We had wonderful times on the Black Prince, and it was always to my admiration to watch how the women got in together as a sisterhood and put out fabulous meals. And it was also quite a lesson to watch Eloise and Priscilla, two of her dearest friends at the end of her life and caregivers, as the sisterhood that belonged together and could do almost anything. As I was a little girl, I sat and watched. In 1978, Kenny and Ruth were fortunate enough to retire to the Bluff of White Salmon, and that's when Ruth really worked on her forehand and loved tennis. They had a beautiful garden, and Ruth, again, loved nature, and it made me think back to my earliest memories in that Pasco garden, because we had some very warm days up there, so the snapdragons were terrific, the zinnias were bright, and the roses were fully scented. Again, at the end of my mom's life, she had what she loved in the beginning, and that was family and friends to surround her and be with her. And so it is with love that my mother gave this book to me, and it's with respect that she honored my spiritual path as I honored hers. She knew that I wanted to study the ways of the medicine Indian women, and it's quite interesting that today is the fall equinox. And I spent time actually studying the sweat lodge to learn how do we let go of the summer and understand that there is decay and do the harvest, come into winter that we know is going to be a dark time, and then again get ready for the joy. So in that tradition, I celebrate the joy of where my mom is today in the light. And I'd like to end my sharing today and then have my other student take over here. From the I Ching, book of Proverbs, a quote, "When the circumstances of death are correct, grief passes into a golden hue of remembrance."